Hi, welcome back to this advanced inventory tutorial. My name is Mihelic with Invicta Studios, and last time we started some code with the UMG inventory widget, and now we're gonna continue on with that. So, something I just like to do that I just noticed is I like to keep my character inside the game blueprints. So I'm just gonna move that over because I like to keep all the important things located here. Let's open up my character. Actually, I looked at my other game folder and saw some things that we're going to need to do, and they're a little more advanced. So go ahead and get a jump on that. Let's add in some more action events. So go to Edit, Project Settings, Input, open that, and let's add one for inventory. And I like to set that to tab. Although you can set it to whatever you'd like. Alright, so now let's go back to my character. Let's go to the event graph. And now let's add that in. Input inventory. Let's find that. There it is. Alright, so every time we press the tab key, we're going to want the widget to come up. So when you press it, create widget. We want it to be a inventory widget. Alright, the next part will also be a little advanced, so we'll go ahead and add in a couple more things that will help us. Something I've learned to do over the time as I've made different widgets is when you open a widget, you'll still be able to walk around and move. So it's good to have something to keep your player, basically to turn off the movement and turn on the mouse. But if you have a whole bunch of different widgets, you'll be doing that over and over. So I like to make two custom events, or I guess you could make them functions, that allow and disallow the movement. So I'll add a custom event called allow movement, and another one for custom event disallow music. Movement, not music. Not sure of quite what I'm thinking. Alright, let's move this up. What you're going to need to get is the player controller. And I usually set that to about the middle because it'll go to both sides. And let's do a do once. And I'll just copy and paste that down. We need to pull off the player controller, and I'll explain all this in a moment. Set, and here's most of the different things you'll need. Set, ignore look input. Set, move. Set, mouse over events. Set quick events, and lastly set show mouse cursor, just in case. Alright, now what each of these does, most of them are self-explanatory, but I'll explain them anyways. Set ignore look input will not let you basically look around. move is so you can't move the character. Mouse over events is for the widgets. Like, this is a mouse over event right here, is when you go over a button, it'll highlight it if you have that set up. Click events, so you can click the buttons, and show mouse cursor will show it in case it doesn't. So I'm going to check all of these, and then you can just copy or duplicate, pull them down to here, and the disallow movement will do all of these, but we uncheck them basically. Now the reason I have the do once is in case you have something with the HUD. In my other game file, I have some of the widgets based in the HUD, but what it does is it fires every frame. So when I had allow and disallow movement, it would fire continuously, which made some things not work. So when you have it set to a do once, it eliminated that problem. But you need to drag from the opposite to the reset, so it'll only fire once it's been undone, basically. And this is set up. I like to comment and say allow / disallow movement. And I suppose now that I think of it, you could also make this a function, but for me it hasn't really mattered yet. Alright, and we'll set this to, actually we'll set that up later. Well, okay, let's make a branch real quick. Every time they press it, if, well, let's add a variable. Can move. Set. These are backwards, actually. Allow movement would mean, sorry about that. Glad I caught that, because, well, I would have figured it out. There. Yeah, that's right. So they're not being ignored. So they can move with this, and this one is set to false because they can't move. And then let's rewire this. And some of these might not completely make sense for now, but as you play around with it and come up with your own ideas, you'll probably realize why these small debugs are in. Alright, so if they can move, we need to set true would be disallow movement. And if they can't move, then we need to allow movement. Alright, so if they can't move, we'll disallow movement and we'll create the inventory widget. Right. Target. Player controller. Does that fix it? Oh. Where is this at? Oh yeah, when we copy this we have to rewire all this. And this is where I will end this video, because the next part is where it gets really heavy into data transfer and creating a whole bunch of variables and just generally a lot more of the complex code. So I'll get back with you on the next video. If you have any questions about what I did, or you can't understand it, or something didn't work, or perhaps you'd like tutoring or help with the code, just be sure to leave a comment and we'll get back with you as soon as we can.